Rasossi Hawas Black. This is a fragrance that was released in 2024 and it's taking the internet by storm, for good and bad. Today I'm going to detail everything that you need to know about this new fragrance, and if this is a fragrance right for you, I hope this video helps. Now, as you know, I was the first person to cover this fragrance on the internet. I think I was literally the first person to receive a bottle. I bought mine from Perfume Online, I think for like $79 at the time, which was actually an inflated price point. You can actually find it for a lot cheaper now. I will definitely leave a link in the description. The problem with being first to a fragrance to review is I literally knew nothing about this fragrance, what it was supposed to be, if it was an inspired take, and I made some mistakes in my first impression, and I'm here to admit to that, but I'm gonna get into that later on in the review. First, I wanna go over the presentation. Black paint on the inside of the glass with some kind of rose gold or copper writing on the front. It does look nice, it doesn't look bad. On the back, it's just black painting, and then that's where you see the color of the juice. I'm not sure if it stains close, so be very careful if you get this. The cap itself is very heavy. It has a snake wrapped around. It looks pretty premium, I'm not gonna lie. I like the look. I have seen that some people do say Rasossi on the top of here, so there is some variations. The box also looks a lot like the ones in the other line. It says Rasossi Black, and then it kind of has their snakeskin logo. Plain black box, rose gold or copperish font, some Arabic on the top. On the back, just some precautions, and then on the bottom, you flip to here, the ingredients, information, and barcode. This is Eau de Parfum concentration, and it's made in the UAE. Now let's get into the scent profile, but before I get into what I smell, let's go over the listed notes on Fragrantica. The top notes are pineapple, grapefruit, and bergamot. Mid notes, cedarwood, jasmine, and patchouli, and the base notes of oak moss, amber, and woody notes. I'm sorry that I was not able to detect what this fragrance is a clone of. I was expecting some sort of Invictus hybrid fragrance to smell kind of like it ties to these two. Unfortunately, that's where my first kind of what the heck is this moment came from, because it doesn't relate even 1% to the other Rasossi Hawas fragrances, and that makes me a little concerned of where this Hawas line is going to go. Is it just going to turn into a full-blown clone line? Who knows? I'm kind of confused on why they did that. It's a little weird, but this is basically a clone of Nishane's Hachivat. This is like a 90+% accurate clone to that. When I first smelt this, I said that it smells like it has Aventus-like qualities with kind of a deep, earthy, oak mossy dry down. That smells like you're taking a walk through the forest. I could not pinpoint what this was a clone from at first until I just went through every single Creed Aventus-like and found exactly what this is. Now, anyone that says that this is a Creed Aventus Absolute clone, I literally think that the only reason they're saying that is because they're recycling what they saw on Fragrantica as people just voting before they smelt it and just wanted to get the review out as quick as possible. When I smell this fragrance and I spray it on, I do think it's a very good smelling fragrance. It's hard not to like. It does have that kind of Creed backbone, just like Nishane Hachivat does have. This starts with this very bright, fruity, kind of citrusy opening. I don't really get much pineapple that's listed, but I do get kind of this bergamot lemon mixture that's super powerful and juicy, and when you crack open a lemon and it has that like smell in the air, it's a very, very strong citrus off the top, being backed up by a little bit of amber-like sweetness and some woods. Now, as this starts to progress into the dry down, this is where it starts to have a shift of the story of what this fragrance was. It was once a bright sunny day, and now it's overcast and you're walking through the woods. There's a little bit of darkness. The forest is closing in around you. You're getting this earthy green, this mossy, almost smokiness comes through. That is where the transition of this fragrance starts. And a lot of people will be turned off by that because the patchouli is shining here. It's very earthy and green, and the oak moss is one of the most prominent things towards the dry down, which some people do not like when something is too oak moss heavy, and I get it. I am a little bit proud of myself for at least being able to detect this with no listed notes, no release notes at all about this fragrance. I do like the scent profile to this. I do like Nishane Hachivat. I think that they are both great fragrances, and I do think that this is a good inspiration on it that literally almost smells like it's pretty much the same quality as Nishane Hachivat. Like, it's hard to even smell this and think that, you know, this is a fourth of the price. It's really hard to think that. I do see a lot of people that say, like, when they spray this fragrance on, that it leaves a big shimmer, a shine, and they think it's a higher than Eau de Parfum concentration. That's very possible. I'm not going to say they're wrong, but who is this fragrance for? This is a very boss-like man who's in charge. Like I say about every Creed Aventus-like fragrance out there. It does have this almost powerfully masculine and not afraid of who they are type of character to this when you spray it on. It does have a very charismatic scent profile. This is, in my opinion, a fall or a spring fragrance, giving that earthiness. This is perfect for that spring to summer transition. But when it dries down, it's so earthy and green that it almost is too much. Like, there's not a lot of freshness towards the dry down, but you could wear this as a signature scent and people will love it. It's a highly complemented DNA. Nishani Hachivat is a very powerfully masculine, man's man type of scent that a lot of people love. And if you love that scent profile but never were able to buy a full bottle because of the price, it's going to be good for you. The performance to this fragrance is good. I still got around 6 to 8 hours out of this before it was really hard to detect, which is actually not bad. When this does start off though, this projection is quite powerful. The citruses really carry this fragrance and the woods are pushing it out, and a lot of people are going to be like, ooh, whoa, that's a very strong fragrance off of like the first like hour or two, right? From the first hour, you're getting like 3+ feet of projection. It's carrying very well into the air. It's super easy to detect and it can be a little bit overwhelming off the top. But after those first, I would say 3 hours, it goes from like 3+ feet to like maybe a 1+ foot projector. And that's going to carry you to the 6-hour mark before it starts to back its way to a skin scent around the 8 and be gone around then. That's what I found about this fragrance. Sometimes it was slightly detectable past the 8, but I think that the performance to this fragrance was a little bit over exaggerated by some people online, like I've seen on TikTok. Just keep that in mind. It is a good performer. It's not beast mode, but is very strong and potent. Now, with that being said, I want to touch on some controversy. Now, I've seen some people that have said that they went to Rasasi themselves and asked them about Rasasi Hawas Black, and they deny that this even exists. I want to touch on that real quick. This is my opinion. I genuinely don't know, and if I'm wrong, I will make an apology because I'm the first to tell you I was wrong, because I keep it honest here. I think what happened is Rasasi themselves went for a worldwide release, sent this to their distributors, and I think that their distributors went behind their backs and sold this to discounters before Rasasi was even ready for a worldwide release. I could be wrong, but that's what I think happened here, because I know that these discounter sites like Fragrance Buy or Perfume Online or Joma Shop, they would not risk a lawsuit going to a fake distributor of these fragrances when they have such good friendships with the company themselves. I think they genuinely didn't know. I think that the distributors went behind Rasasi's back and sold this before it was ready for worldwide release. I think you'll see this pop up on Rasasi's website and on their social medias very soon. If I'm wrong, I will make a post. Just don't blame me. If you were looking for a good clone of Nishani's Hachivat, you're looking in the right place, but just don't expect this to tie to the Hawas DNA. I want to stress that over and over again. So when I'm comparing this to the other Rasasi Hawas fragrances, I want that to be completely out of the picture. This has to be judged by its own. So I cannot say which one is better, if this is better between Rasasi Hawas Ice or Hawas, because I like both of these. And I think that they're for two different types of people because they're two different scent profiles. So regardless of what I'm about to rate this fragrance, I don't want that to be compared to the rest of the line because this is its own thing. I do think a lot of people are going to like this, but I also do think a lot of people are not going to like this because it is a polarizing scent. That's why I'm going to give Rasasi Hawas Black an 8 out of 10. I do think that this is a great fragrance, but just like Nishani Hachivat, I do think there are better alternatives, one of them being this fragrance right here, so definitely check out my review for that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you over there.